Coming up on the TCC Report, 2 visiting students all the way from China aim to boost the Florida economy. We'll tell you how.
Plus, we'll introduce you to the newest phase of workforce development and her vision to help you land a job.
And we'll show you how TCC is collaborating with neighboring universities to support returning veterans right here in Tallahassee. The TCC Report starts right now. Welcome back. Joining forces with the United Way of the Big Bend and the BEST Project, TCC stepped outside the classroom, providing financial tips to the community. Free tax preparation and effective ways to budget your money were just a few of the many services offered. Serving as a volunteer income tax assistant host, or VITA, extended the college's reach to even more families in the community.
I'm a graduating senior, and I just came out with my mom tonight to learn more about the college process, and I'm really glad that TCC put this on so I could know more.
As a parent, it's grateful that they put it on because I really didn't know where to turn. Doing something like a one-on-one, I think it's great because that'll better give me the opportunity, him the opportunity, and me more understanding of what I need to do as far as to help him.
TCC awarded 2 students, Michelle Romelis and Christopher Johnson, with $500 scholarships from a drawing of event participants. The college and the United Way of the Big Bend will make this an annual event for the community and are already planning next year's program.
Students aren't the only ones learning here at Tallahassee Community College. Faculty and staff are continuing their education too. New faculty members participate in a 3-year seminar. The focus of the first year is instructional effectiveness, second year is collegial relationships, and the third year is complete engagement as a faculty member. As one of the highlights of the seminar, second-year faculty present to other faculty colleagues and members of the college community.
The second-year faculty presentations are a culmination of an opportunity for second-year faculty to really build their collegial relationships with one another. We put them into groups and we mix them up across disciplines so they get to really have a different understanding of teaching and learning. And they pick the topics, and the topics this year were quite exciting.
January 1st, 2014, there will be a new GED test.
Before I started as a full-time faculty, I worked with Center for Workforce Development as a GED instructor. And then when I came over to full-time, I started to see a lot of my students matriculate from that program into here. And I started to see that there was a gap in that. So that was my initial reasons for bringing that up as a possible topic. And the other 2 group members agreed with that, and we decided to run with that.
They're a very critical part of the formal process that we go through to develop our faculty here at TCC. We have a very elaborate process of selecting faculty, and then for the first 3 years we put them through a very structured process where we give them the skills to deliver their content effectively in classrooms.
So I often had students who would get densities of like 100 grams per milliliter, and I was thinking, okay, it should be around 3. So show me what you did.
And I feel it'll be very useful for my future because what we developed is something that I can use at the beginning of every semester with my students so that it can improve their quantitative skills and make them more comfortable in my class. And I think that it's already been helpful to some of the students in my class this semester.
What I love about it is how much the rest of us learn from them. And that's the really exciting part, is we know that they bring us new and great ideas to make ourselves better. And so that's one of the biggest benefits for us.
I love working with faculty. I think it's so exciting to see them come in. I think it's important that we give them a good, solid foundation for success in the future. And you know, there aren't many other institutions that can say that they have a seminar that supports faculty for 3 years.
Well, I think it just kind of warms my heart to know that we've got the quality faculty that we have. These men and women are remarkable. They're dedicated to making sure students learn. They are looking for new strategies to engage our students in a meaningful way, and it is just fabulous to watch.
The faculty seminars were recognized as a benchmark of excellence by the National Institute for Staff and Organizational Development in 2011, an organization that hosts an international conference each year focused on teaching and leading excellence at the community college level.
Every year, TCC sends a group of its staff to the National Institute for Staff and Organizational Development, or NISOD for short. Staff are nominated by their peers and awarded a great opportunity to learn from colleagues around the world.
It's my 6th year at TCC, and I've never won an award before, and for the first one to be a National Leadership and Teaching Excellence Award, I'm very humbled and honored, and I can't express to TCC and its leadership how thankful I am that they chose me as one of their representatives.
It's pretty awesome. I'm really excited about going. I'm really excited about going through the award ceremony. I've always been jealous of the people who get to walk around with the medal around their neck all week, so I can't wait to walk around with my medal.
Being a NISOD winner makes me, it motivates me to want to do more of what I'm doing and to see other ways that I can maybe take the calendar or also the things that I do a step up further.
I am humbled by the recognition, but at the same time, it's a nice feeling to be rewarded by your peers.
I think if we bring back new ways to deliver old information, we can hopefully keep them interested and motivated and excited about learning.
I look at it more as just like an ambassador to go and represent TCC, because I think we really have probably some of the most diverse and talented faculty at any community college.
Celebrating Women's History Month at Tallahassee Community College is always full of inspiration and excitement. This annual event recognizes women from the community as well as outstanding TCC female students.
Anytime you can celebrate people and the kinds of things that they've done in the world, it's time to make a move and move forward. And that's why I take my time to embellish the kinds of things that women have done to bring themselves up, their families, their communities. And I think it needs to be done. It's not who you are, it's what you're doing in the community that's going to make a difference.
I think that being honored as one of the outstanding community women at the TCC event is really, really meaningful to be alongside all of these women who have served as my mentors for years. I was sitting to my right next to Joyce Carbonell, who is actually the leader of the Women's Studies Department at FSU, and I was a student. So it's been really incredible, and it's just sort of amazing.
For more highlights from TCC's Women's History Month celebration, head to our site.
Coming up after the break, you'll hear from 2 international students who visited TCC and their ideas on boosting the Florida economy. Stay with us.
How high have you set your goals? Getting off the ground is not as tough as you think. With help from Tallahassee Community College, TCC offers a quality education with faculty dedicated to helping you succeed and increase your career possibilities. Take the strain out of reaching new heights and discover why TCC is the college of choice.
Welcome back. Recently, 2 visiting students from China flew all the way to the capital city, presenting their ideas to boost the Florida economy. Tianjin Foreign Studies University students Caroline and Charlie were selected to visit Tallahassee through a process that began last summer when TCC professor Lee Kitchen led a course in international business while visiting their university. Recently, these 2 students presented their research to the Florida Department of Agriculture and the Florida House Subcommittee on Agriculture and Natural Resources.
My project is mainly about the grapefruit in Florida, and my company named Green Orchard will import the grapefruit just for the pregnant women, because the grapefruit in Florida has enough the folic acid. It's very good to the pregnant women, good for their beauty and good for their baby.
And we've tried to combine those like a golf course, casino trip, those kind of service into the trade show to give the impressive experience to them. and I think this is very beneficial to the local economy in Tallahassee as well, and the Emerald Coast.
We want our American students to be hungry to learn more about China. We want them to start taking Chinese language. In fact, the Chinese university has offered scholarships for TCC students to stay on and study. So that's our goal, is to foster a global environment, increase trade and understanding.
If you've ever been interested in starting your own nature-based business or looking to find a job in a nature-based field, TCC's Wakulla Center has the course for you. It's called the Green Guide Certification Course. This 90-hour class is designed for individuals who are interested in learning more about the Big Bend region's natural environment. Covering a range of topics, this certification can provide you a wide range of job opportunities in ecotourism.
It gives them a real intensive, quick crash course on, you know, the native plants and the biota and the geology and all the things that are, you know, really key to making the ecosystem such a unique thing that it is here.
I have been driving 3 hours up, 3 hours of class, and 3 hours home. So I leave Crystal River around 2 in the afternoon and I get home around midnight when I come for the evening class. And it is worth it. It is a wonderful course.
The Green Guide course sets the individual apart because they have a working knowledge of the ecology of this whole area.
It's a great course. It's a great course. I wish it was longer. I mean, if it was 2 years to get the certification, I wouldn't have any problem doing it because it's just amazing.
For more information or to register for the Wakulla Green Guide course, call the number below or visit our website.
She's one of Tallahassee's most well-known and respected workforce development leaders. With over a decade of experience, Kimberly Moore brings her expertise and passion to Tallahassee Community College with a vision to make TCC the leader in workforce development in the area. For 10 years, Kimberly Moore served as the CEO for Workforce Plus and has earned the title as the youngest CEO for Florida's workforce system. Moore says her desire to make a difference started at the age of 15.
I think it was amazing for me, going back to 9th grade and just thinking about, how would you like to make a difference? And for me, I wanted to be a decision maker. I wanted to be a CEO. In my mind and the information that I'd gathered, at 9th grade, I knew it was an opportunity to not only be in a position of authority, but also be in a position to help grow other people.
And that's what Moore has done since her start in workforce development, helping thousands develop skills and find employment. As the new VP of Workforce Development, Moore is determined to bring even greater success to TCC students.
I can tell you that workforce development fits every person because everyone, I believe, their aspiration or goal is to go into the world of work. And if that is the final outcome, then workforce development programs are relevant at any point. Additionally, it's to shed light on what those opportunities, how those opportunities play into future growth. Even if your pathway is a 2-year or 4-year degree, the whole idea of lifelong learning and getting that, I call it skills upgrade or retooling, it's going to be absolutely vital. As a Vice President for Workforce Development, what I envision, not only local impact of having connected the dots with the community about the role that Tallahassee Community College can play relative to workforce development. I see stronger collaborations with our university partners, FAMU, Florida State University. I envision a huge connection with our students who take advantage of our services, not having it be a one-time training opportunity, but realizing that it's a lifelong learning process and that TCC is that valuable tool that they can place in their toolbox for their lifelong learning. Additionally, I envision this division being part of a statewide movement, leading the charge of what education, the role that education can play relative to workforce development. And certainly on that big old scale, looking at national of how we can move and relay some of the best practices that we put in place here on a national level. That would indeed be the vision. And yeah, we're looking at 5 years, but I'd certainly like to get there sooner.
For more information on TCC's Center for Workforce Development, visit our website.
Broadcasting to over 8,000 students, This year's Gear Up is what some are calling the ultimate college tour. This first-of-its-kind virtual tour allowed a panel of college and university recruiters to introduce their institutions, answer questions, and give students advice on how to prepare for college. Financial aid experts were also available to discuss different ways of funding their education.
It's a one-of-a-kind, and what we are doing is we're reaching all 10 of our schools across Florida, which is 8,000 plus students, to tell them about different colleges that have come as invitees. So we are doing a virtual or cyber tour of these colleges that are here today across the Panhandle to our schools that are part of the Gear Up program. We hope that they get introduced to the various colleges and then some, so that they can see what their options are, what's open to them, and that basically college and secondary education is possible.
Organizers are already planning next year's Gear Up event and are expecting another successful outcome. Coming up next is a look at Eagle sports with Rob Cheney.
Thanks, John. Coming up in sports, we'll talk TCC baseball with head coach Mike McLeod and look at some former Eagles making headlines nationwide. We'll be right back.
Tallahassee Community College is preparing the next generation of environmental professionals. TCC's Wakulla Environmental Institute offers a gateway to challenging and rewarding careers in water quality, natural resource management, and environmental monitoring, with opportunities to work in private enterprise or the government. TCC's programs are ideal for working students and offer flexible schedules with online and classroom learning. Take your first step toward a new, meaningful career and enroll today.
Welcome back. I'm joined now by Tallahassee Community College head baseball coach Mike McLeod, whose Eagles, as we stand here today, have a record of 37-5 on the season. They're leading the way in the Panhandle Conference at 11-1 and ranked #1 in the state of Florida. Coach McLeod, have to ask, how's it been to put this kind of season together?
This year's been a lot of fun so far, and we just want it to continue, and we want our guys to realize that nothing's been won yet, and we need to keep our foot on that gas pedal and keep going hard every day.
At what point did you sense that the 2013 season could be special as it's turned out?
I think back in fall practice we realized we had a very strong presence of sophomores. We had at one time 8 sophomore players starting in our everyday lineup, and we had 6 sophomore arms and guys that have been there before knew what was happening. So I felt like, you know, anytime you come out of this conference or going into this conference, you've got that many sophomores, it's going to help you.
Now, as we move into the last 2 weeks of the regular season and hopefully some postseason play ahead for the Eagles, what do you have to do to keep the guys sharp and maintain their focus?
Just stay on them or with them every day and make sure they realize that we played a lot of close games, and kids tend to forget that, and I haven't. And the first half we went 11-1, but I think 5 one-run games and 4 or 5 comeback wins, and, you know, games that we could have lost, and fortunately we came out on top. But the second half we're going to see the same people, same arms, so we got to come out every day ready to go to work and get the job done.
All right, thanks a lot and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, some former Eagles, including a pair of Coach McLeod's former baseball players, have also been in the news recently. Let's take a look. We'll start on the softball diamond, where a pair of former Eagles put their names into their respective schools' record books. At the University of Texas, El Paso, Alana Leasal needed only 2 swings of the bat to set not 1 but 2 records in the minors game against Mississippi Valley State on March 15th. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech's Amanda Ake set her own home run record. In the Hokies game against North Carolina on March 29th, Ake tied the school record with 2 home runs. And down at North Carolina State, Kirsty Grant was named ACC Player of the Week on March 26th after leading the Wolfpack to a doubleheader sweep of, ironically, Virginia Tech. Moving to the baseball diamond, 2 former Eagles were in the starting lineup on opening day of the Major League Baseball season. Lorenzo Cain and Michael Saunders, teammates on TCC's 2005 team, started in the outfield for the Kansas City Royals and Seattle Mariners, respectively. And March Madness wouldn't be complete without some connections to TCC's men's and women's basketball programs. Mansa L., a senior guard at the University of South Alabama, was one of 50 student athletes from around the country selected to participate in the Women's Basketball Coaches Association's 11th annual So You Want to Be a Coach program at the Women's Final Four in New Orleans. Derek Beltran, a senior guard at Southern University, not only led his Jaguar team to the Southwestern Athletic Conference Tournament Championship, but was also named the most valuable player of the SWAC tournament. There was even a TCC connection with the darlings of this year's NCAA tournament, the Florida Gulf Coast University Eagles. Former TCC men's assistant Kevin Norris was an assistant coach on Andy Enfield's staff at FGC, and of course, those Eagles became the first ever 15 seed to reach the Sweet 16. That's our update on Eagle Sports. Remember, for the latest news and information on TCC athletics, including any postseason information for TCC baseball and softball, log on to tcceagles.com. You can also follow the Eagles on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at TCC Eagles. Back to you, John and Eva.
Thanks, Rob. Tallahassee Community College recently joined forces with Florida A&M University and Florida State University to host the inaugural Capital City Veterans Consortium.
The event brings together faculty, staff, administrators, and student veterans from all three institutions to discuss matters of importance to the men and women who have served and still serve in the military.
The consortium basically is housing all three schools. So we have TCC, FSU, and FAMU. And we wanted to collaborate to overall deal with the issue of how to transition veterans back to school and graduate them. And that's the most important issue. Our end solution is to make sure that veterans don't have a hard time going back to college and going back to the workplace.
We have one goal. We know student veterans aren't going to college and aren't graduating at the rate of the general population. So the one thing we really want to do is get our vets into college, retain them, graduate them, make sure they get good jobs. And so this is all about making sure that that happens, that you build that sense of community, you get rid of the barriers and roadblocks, and you help those vets become successful.
It's important for us to come together like this so we can get a much more comprehensive set of input into what are the types of things we can do now and into the future. You know, we can sit over at FAMU or at FSU or TCC and come up with ideas in silos, but what's really important, I think our best comes when we work together in fora just like this.
It is absolutely a great feeling to have all this support. When I first got home from the military, you know, people said there was support out there, and I didn't feel it until I started coming to TCC, and now I have all these people behind me, literally and figuratively, and it's just absolutely amazing.
Well, if I could just duck right now, and the camera would see all of the people behind me that are engaged with the people who are actually getting this done, and that's the solution. The solution is not just thinking about, hey, what can I do? The solution is reaching out, contacting people, and then actually doing something.
It just makes me feel really special. It makes me feel loved, and it makes me feel like the citizens of our great state really care about our veterans.
Thank you for watching the TCC Report. In our next edition, we'll take you inside Springtime Tallahassee, one of the largest and most celebrated parades in the Southeast. We'll also show you how TCC students are stepping outside the classroom and into the community to make a difference in Tallahassee.
You can also view all the latest updates and current news about TCC by heading to our website.
And remember, look for more great TCC programming on Comcast Cable Channel 22 from 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. each day. You can also view our programs anytime on our YouTube channel.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. We want to hear from you.